Today we'll be taking a look at some comments from Seth Rollins about Becky Lynch and our latest Alexa Bliss theory. Let's start things off with this new Alexa Bliss theory that's connected to the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and everything else there. So prior to WWE Fastlane, we really had just 2 or 3 sides to Alexa Bliss. We had her Firefly Funhouse persona, who is known for being playful and cheerful, but also extremely scary and threatening at the same time. We were then introduced to the Fiend side of Alexa Bliss in January for a few weeks. That was really interesting as well. That version of Alexa Bliss spoke no words and showed no emotions, just a dominant female version of the Fiend. We also had Alexa Bliss's goddess persona, but that's not really used in a major way. Alexa has also used that persona to play mind games with her opponents during matches and freak them out. But like we talked about for WWE Fastlane, Alexa's appearance at Fastlane seemed to be another new persona. She was acting like her Firefly Funhouse self, but she had her Fiend overall on. And she was doing crazy abilities like dropping stage lights and setting off fires. It seemed like a cross between all of her different personas. But was it really a new persona, or is it a result of what she did to get the Fiend back? That is where the theory comes into play. When Alexa Bliss showed up wearing the almost zombie-like makeup at Fastlane, everyone thought it would probably be just a special look for the pay-per-view event. But Alexa Bliss followed up that appearance the very next night on Raw, where she once again had that zombified look on her face. Not only that, but WWE has just released a completely updated render of Alexa Bliss in the zombie look. When WWE releases a new render for someone, it's usually a good indicator that they'll be sticking with that one appearance for a while. So that makes us ask the question of, why is Alexa Bliss basically zombified now? The easiest explanation would be the Fiend's return. It was made known to the audience that Alexa Bliss was working on some magic and other twisted ways to get the Fiend to return. Sitting in that circle, the candles, even the Jack-in-the-Box toy, which we did see the payoff to on Raw, where she finally cranked it all the way. But why the change in Alexa's look? Well, there's one of 2 theories making a lot of sense right now. First theory being that Alexa Bliss could give a part of herself up in order to bring the Fiend back. Maybe Alexa gave up a small part of her life and spirit to the Fiend as a part of the return process for him. It could explain why Alexa completely lost the complexion in her face. Her face is now zombie white with dark circles around her eyes. And this only started happening the night of the Fiend's return. So, did she herself sacrifice a part of her life in order to get the Fiend back? It's possible. Alexa's look changed the same night that the Fiend returned. So, was her losing her complexion part of the sacrifice for the Fiend? The next theory is, of course, an increased new version of the Fiend's effect. The original Fiend was extremely powerful. We saw the changes that he made to people he interacted with, Alexa Bliss being a perfect example of that. But with the new Fiend, maybe he now has an even stronger influence and effect on the people he interacts with. Maybe just interacting with the Fiend is the simple explanation for Alexa Bliss's new look. That could work as well. The Fiend got this big new scary look, and WWE probably figured that ordinary Firefly Funhouse Alexa wouldn't fit that well standing next to this monster. So they decided to fix Alexa's look as well and make her have a new monster appearance herself, just to better fit with the Fiend. Which is a good idea. That definitely makes some sense. Have the monster version of Alexa Bliss be right behind that new Fiend. Based off looks alone, that's one very intimidating pair. But it does seem like this isn't just a new persona for Alexa Bliss. This may be the updated version of her character from this point on. The biggest question that still remains is Bray Wyatt's absence. They're probably having a hard time thinking of a way to bring back the Bray Wyatt persona. That was one of the biggest issues when they pulled Bray Wyatt from television all those months ago. Like, sure, you can bring back the Fiend in a scary way whenever you want, but how do you magically make Bray Wyatt return and explain his absence? That seems to be the issue, and why we haven't seen Bray Wyatt yet. There just hasn't been a way to reintroduce that persona. Maybe they're waiting for after WrestleMania to bring him back. Maybe they just want the Fiend to have everyone's undivided attention, and then we could possibly see Bray Wyatt return after WrestleMania. That'll be something to keep an eye on, but what did you think of these Alexa Bliss theories? WrestleMania season is nearly over, and there's been no Becky Lynch sighting or even rumors about her WWE return at all. Becky Lynch first teased a return during the Royal Rumble match, where she posted a picture of the curtain. That one single picture of the curtain to the ring went viral because everyone assumed that she was teasing a return. There is one person that knows exactly what's going on with Becky Lynch though, and that's her husband, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was asked about Becky Lynch's return while speaking with Dayton 24 Now, and had this to say about not releasing Becky's secrets. "Do you have a wife, sir? Would you betray your wife's trust for a television interview? Come on now. I would never. It is not a smart thing to do. You gotta go home to your wife. I gotta go home to my wife. I would never. All the respect in the world to you. I appreciate the background, but there's no way I'm going to divulge Becky Lynch's secrets. Come on. You've got to be smarter than that." So Seth Rollins wasn't giving up much information on Becky Lynch's return, but her return is still on the minds of a lot of fans. Becky Lynch didn't return for WrestleMania season, so could she return for the night after WrestleMania? Could she return towards SummerSlam season? Anytime is a possibility. The other question that fans have been discussing a lot about Becky's return is what brand will she be assigned to? Becky obviously has unfinished business on Raw since she was never defeated for the Raw Women's title. So if it's Asuka or even Rhea Ripley as champion after WrestleMania, imagine them getting confronted by Becky Lynch after they just had a big title match at WrestleMania. That'll be quite the matchup if it is Becky versus Asuka or Becky versus Rhea. Not to mention that the Raw Women's division is still in shambles. There's about 2 teams in the Raw Women's Tag Team division, and there's no credible contenders for the Raw Women's title at all. That's why Charlotte and Rhea Ripley were the only possibilities. So the Raw Women's division could definitely use Becky's guidance and star power. But on the flip side, there's a lot of fans that believe Becky Lynch will end up on SmackDown for sure, because that's where Seth Rollins is at. It's been a WWE tradition over the last few years to keep real-life couples together on the same brand. Whatever brand one superstar goes to, WWE makes sure to always send their significant other right behind them to the same brand, so that they'll have more time together. So, for that reason alone, some fans think Becky will definitely end up on SmackDown, which isn't that bad at all. She'll be returning back to the brand that the man was born in. So it'll be like a homecoming for Becky Lynch. Not to mention that the matches for Becky Lynch would be amazing on SmackDown as well. We'll have Becky vs. Bayley, Becky vs. Sasha, Becky vs. Bianca, and so much more new matchups for Becky Lynch. So SmackDown doesn't sound that bad at all. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.